Hi everyone. Uh, so here I am again, actually pretty quickly, and it's for a couple of reasons. I felt kind of bad. I mean, I think there are all three people who regularly check this blog, but um, a couple of people have messaged me and said, that they really appreciate the entries, and I felt kind of bad saying, well, for now I'm just writing my blog. So I thought I would give you um, a really clear example. Actually, one of the things I'm supposed to be doing right now is because there's a good chance you might not have even been able to hear the first part of this. So now I have my trusty headphone microphones. Here we go. But yeah, this time of day, I'm lying in my bed. This would actually be the best time for me to blog and video blog. And unfortunately, as you can see, I look like I don't know what color that is. And I hope you can now hear me, but before you couldn't. And yada, 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 yada. It would just be nice if I could present a little bit better than this. Ironically, though, that kind of ties into the thing I want a video blog about. And when I was thinking about it, it's kind of neat because how I'm presenting right now is appropriate to the topic that I want to talk about. And also, the topic that I want to talk about is not something that it would be easy for me to write about. I think I could write about it, but it would just be so consuming. And the thing I like about writing is you can go back at it, and when you step away from it and you go back to it again, you can edit it and change it and refine it. And I'm a real perfectionist, so that's neat. I like to have that ability. And if you go back to my blog and you read entries over time and you read the same entry, it changes because I edit and improve in my mind anyway. But a video is a static thing, right? So here we are. And the thing I want to talk about is actually Whitney Houston. I'm going to get to it in a very, very, very roundabout way. It starts before I even found out that she died today with a conversation I had earlier in the day with a friend of mine who is an MD. And we've known each other not quite since childhood, but I think since we've been 13. And she's one of my oldest friends, and we're close in a very special kind of way because we have so much lived experience over so much time and 3 different countries, I think. 4. Wow. So it's really special. I mean, I have other friends from university who I'm very, very close to as well in a different kind of way. So we're talking, and she's known for a long time that I'm bipolar. She's known almost as long as I've known. And, or manic depressive, as I prefer to say. But I'm talking to you guys, so you know what I mean. And we were talking about it, and it was one of the rare occasions when I was able to appreciate, thanks to her, the medical profession's perspective on how we often are treated medically. Because in our conversation, she, on a couple of occasions, used the words stability and stabilize, and I was thinking to myself, I didn't actually say this to her in the conversation, but I did email her afterwards, and she may never get a chance to read it because it was quite a long email, that my experiences with stability have actually not been that good. Lithium can stabilize me, but I can't function when I'm stable. And it would be great if there was some way that I could be medicated to be just like everybody else and function just like everybody else, though really I question whether there is really just like everybody else, because we're all sort of different and unique in our own ways. It's just we're also sometimes clearly not, and I think those of us who are manic depressive are clearly not in a particular kind of way. So it just sort of underlined for me this idea of the dynamic between expectations and reality. And I think that's kind of the dynamic that caused Whitney Houston's life to unravel. She was such an incredibly beautiful, talented, gifted, energetic, vibrant person. And she was in, like, I don't know, she just I don't want to start crying because, celebrities, people die, these things happen. I never knew her. And I've always enjoyed her music, but it's not like I could say I was a hardcore fan. I thought she was an amazingly talented person with a very beautiful voice, and I have bought some of her albums. I think maybe only one, but still. But she was just so special on the one hand, but on the other hand, I think what made her special was, in fact, not really who she was. And there's an incredible quote that I found when I first found out about her death. It was an article in ABC that recounted an interview that she did in Rolling Stone, and I'll read it to you now. The quote says, it's from a very long article on ABC News website. She was being interviewed in 1993, which is pretty early on still in terms of her unraveling. That's 18 years ago? 19 years ago almost? And she was talking about her relationship with Bobby Brown, and she said, to Rolling Stone, when you love, you love. I mean, do you stop loving somebody because you have different images? Bobby and I basically come from the same place. You see somebody and you deal with their image. That's their image. It's a part of them. It's not the whole picture. I'm not always in a sequin gown. I am nobody's angel. I can get down and dirty. I can get raunchy. And yet when you look at Whitney Houston, when you see her and experience her in the many, many different forms that surround us all over the internet and will be surrounding us for the next few weeks, and on television, I don't watch television, so I'll miss most of that. That's not what you see. And she came from a family of performers, so she probably had absolutely no difficulty, clearly from the way she talks about that. She understands what you see is a part of me, but it's not me. And I can do this, and I can do it really well. And she did it really well for a really long time. But on a certain level, it just didn't work for her. And this ties in with something else that I ran into recently that I found quite powerful. On the Icarus Forum website, it's not the Icarus Forum, it's called icarusproject.net. Is that it? The icarusproject.net. And it's a website, it's one of the many websites online where people who struggling, I think the slogan they use is navigating the space between brilliance and madness, which I think is really nice. Anyway, they did a suicide prevention poster. Whoops, there goes the equipment issue. I really should be paying attention to. Yeah, okay, I'm in the frame again. They did a really cool suicide prevention poster. And the poster says, sometimes wanting to kill yourself just means you don't want to live the life you're living. You can change your life with that power. What the hell? You are about to lose your whole life. Why not instead lose your school, your job, your pretenses, your fears, your adherence to society's standards, your shame? I have found some of my suicidal episodes to be strangely liberating in that way. I wouldn't take back any of what made me who I am. And I think I'm reaching the limit of what I can upload onto YouTube, so I'm going to have to do a second entry. No one may ever watch this. I don't know if I could watch this again, but I'm going to do it, so hang on.